Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of Tiān 2, episode 6. Yes, I counted. And last time we had a bit of an interesting journey with Leanna and Estelle as Passeth was off doing his own research on the morality dissolver flower. If I recall correctly, because immediately again everything is starting to go to a blank. Maybe I should write this down beforehand. We had the duo continued to investigate the area by the stream, and after doing so and not turning up much, they returned to Sharuk Natal, trying to enter through the waterfall entrance that was once the observatory. Leanna went first and experienced a dream, vision, nightmare, if you will, seeing something beyond her wildest imagination and taking a second to try and absorb that information before Estelle was able to pull her out. But the two were inevitably able to go back into Sharuk Natal despite Sho's seemingly ominous threat. As they did so, the two split for some time, one seemingly longer than the other, perspective-wise. Estelle went to research in a research area while Leanna practiced her act, and while she did so, Leanna came across the friend that Estelle was looking for in Soleil. The two talked, and Soleil revealed that there was a quote-unquote surprise party being worked on. Leanna assured her that she would keep it a surprise, and the two parted ways. Estelle, on the other hand, researched for what only felt like a half an hour, but what actually turned out to be about 3 days. And as she reunited with Laurel and Leanna, Leanna immediately spilled the beans on Soleil, and Estelle needed to take some time to rest up. So now, a little bit more rested, and very curious as to what is going to happen with their research or looking into the subject further of Soleil, the two begin their search. Now, Estelle, you already rolled a perception check last week.
Yes, it was a 16, I believe. Yes, it is 16.
It's again a very odd, it's an odd scent from a tiefling, as you recognize the vague hints of brimstone that seem to emanate from her form. It's not too difficult to find, seeing as how you've already attempted this once before. And as you follow your nose to this location, there's... I don't wish to tell you how Estelle would feel, but there is a sense, I would say, at least in the air, of tension and a bit of foreboding, as you've tried this once before already, and you knew, or you know what came of it, the trickery of the mind, of the body, of the form that awaited you. So this trip is a little more tense, although perhaps Estelle is more focused this time around. Once more, you are led to the area of dry and dead leaves and grass. An area similar to the outside, but not supposed to be in Shirok proper. And unlike last time, not hidden behind the recesses of brush or twig, you see approximately 30 or so feet ahead of you. After turning around a corner, you see a banner strewn about 10 feet wide. The banner itself is white, and the lettering is a jovial, bright pink. And both Leanna and Estelle would see that it says, "Welcome home."
Leanna will whisper to herself, "So it was true."
In any other specific circumstance, this would be very touching to Estelle, but at the current moment, considering where this is and what happened previously, this is very concerning, is the word I'm going to use. So, Estelle, still in her dog wild shape, is going to slowly approach and look around to see if there's anyone around, because currently it's just the banner.
I would say that as you look around, there's no perception check needed, as there is a sign about 5 feet past the banner towards the ground, about 2 or so feet above the ground. Wooden sign kind of put up against the thicket, and it is a fairly amateurishly painted arrow pointing further in.
And Leanna is following Estelle a little further back.
Right, Estelle's going to uh, follow the arrow and just examine the area for absolutely anything that might seem off-putting. Besides, the off-putting nature that this area is, being very autumnal, but in an area that shouldn't be.
Okay. As you continue, the area that goes past the sign is, I don't know if you said this or not, but it's kind of in the shape of a tunnel. It's dark. The thicket almost kind of blocks out the natural light that is provided in Shirok, and you kind of go into this cave-like entrance. There's no sounds of chirping birds. There's no sounds of people talking beyond just the sound of your own footsteps and your own thoughts. After walking about a solid minute, the area does begin to lighten up. And as it does so, give me 1 second. Do. Are you guys seeing the map?
I see it.
Maru?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I have control over my token. It didn't get lost.
Okay, that's good.
So, to describe what you guys see, entering or exiting outside of this tunnel-like structure of the thicket and dead branches, we see a black, almost lightning bolt-like pattern on the ground that separates the crimson dark leaves that completely cover it. Surrounding the area, much bigger than an area that you had come from, you see just a forest of dead trees and rocks. And at the end of the path, you see one tiefling girl and one half-elf boy talking to each other.
Leanna's going to whisper to Estelle, "This doesn't quite feel right. I don't like this."
Estelle will shake her head, which is basically in agreement, then shift out of her wild shape and say, I don't like this either. Oh, what are they doing?
This area feels wrong compared to the rest of the place.
You're right. Well, we know we're basically walking right into a trap, yeah?
Yes. That doesn't mean we should go through with it, but if they've noticed us, which she's going to steal a glance over at them, have they looked up and seen us?
Roll perception.
Okay. 22.
22. From your perspective, it looks like the two are kind of wrapped in a conversation. They're kind of ducking near each other, like they're in kind of a huddle, if you will.
Seem preoccupied. We know where here is now, so we can always back off and come back.
True. Oh. Honestly, I just want to figure out what's going on now. Back me up?
Yeah. Of course, always. I'll follow your lead.
She'll, she's doing her best to put on a brave face and smile and say, thank you. I mean it, really. And,
Family. And before we go, reminder that I did technically promise to say that I wouldn't tell you anything, so you found this on your own. I just followed.
I was gonna do exactly what I just did anyway, even if you didn't tell me.
Fair point.
Thank you again. And she'll just hug you after that.
Leanna will hug back.
All right. And after like brief moment, she'll pull back both hands on your shoulders and say, let's spring this trap gloriously.
Starting to think we probably should have told somebody where we were going, not that we knew where we were ending up, but we're here, so yeah, let's go.
Alright. And Stell will start to walk forward.
And Leona will follow at a relatively close distance.
Okie doke. As you approach, the ground underneath your feet has no leaves. It's like a solid pavement of dirt, yet there are no pebbles and there are no rocks. So there's nothing to kick around, there's no dust to bring up, so it's just kind of a solid surface. Still natural, still earth, but a little bit odd. But as you approach, it's Luan who seems to perk up first, and a smile comes across his face, a small one, as he taps the shoulder of Soleil and points, and she turns around and looks up. Oh, it's been a while.
Has 2 years now, I think it's been, right?
It feels like it. It feels longer than that. Before we continue, Maru, I think there's something wrong with your headset. There's a clicking noise that keeps coming from it.
Is this better?
You talking is fine. It's just that every now and again it's like...
One sec, let me try something.
Okay.
Did you just hear it?
Yes.
Yes.
That is me muting my mic.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
That is really weird how it keeps making that noise. Huh.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Welcome home.
Thanks, but I was just gonna look around at the crimson sea of leaves and the dead trees and just ask, what is this place? What happened here? If we're inside Chirekatau, this shouldn't be like this.
I mean, Luan was the one that was trying to find out exactly what's been going on here, but I'm not quite sure myself. I just knew that this place would be quiet, at least, and just a place we can revisit and say hi again, I guess. Estelle, go ahead and roll insight.
Yeah. This does not feel right at all. A 15. And before you give the results of that check, may I ask, because I've known them for so long, would I have advantage on this, or because it's been so long since I've last seen them would still be a standard check?
For a reason I will not disclose at the moment, this will still be a standard check.
Alright. Just wanted to ask before anything else. Continue on. Roll to 15.
With a 15, you can see that as she's talking, there's a clear sense of discomfort, and there is a hint that you can tell of moisture that seems to be building around her eyes.
So they? What's wrong?
Nothing. Nothing's wrong. It's just... you spend so many years with a person, and like that, they're gone. And they're gone for so long, and it's just so good to see you again.
I'm sorry I didn't visit more. I just...
Leanna's going
You know how I
interject. Luan, where are you going?
As Leanna calls out to the elven man, who during this time has kind of been taking a couple of steps back, he just kind of rubs the back of his head a bit, and he says, I feel like I shouldn't be here at this moment.
Inciting the hell out of that.
Okay,
I would like to as well, if that's all right.
of course.
17.
Nat 1. I am doing terribly.
Estelle, I mean, you've at least seen Luan since you got back, so I mean, Luan probably just wants you and Soleil to at least be able to spend some sort of one-on-one time with each other. It's just kind of a how do I put this? It's an act of consideration. He wants you to be able to say what you want to say without him at least being an audience. And give me a second, Leanna. Leanna, as you watch him kind of skulk off, he's not the best of liars, but this dude also just seems really awkward, and the emotion that you see building up from Soleil and the emotion you know Estelle has at the moment, maybe this dude is just really uncomfortable with the touchy-feely kind of moments.
Maybe, but it just feels weird that he's stepping away a few steps at a time instead of just saying so and leaving.
Again, could be his awkwardness and him just wanting to move out without drawing any more attention to himself, perhaps.
Doesn't feel right. Lana doesn't like it, but she's not sure how to broach that.
So we were still trying to figure out kinda how to celebrate, and it's weird, despite the fact it's been years and you think you know exactly what to do when you saw someone again. It just all comes to a blank when it comes to actually doing it. Soleil takes a step forward. I missed you. I missed you so much.
Missed you too. Oh, wait. Speaking of when we, Estelle's going to go into her pouch and pull out something that she got all the way back in Bright Hollow. Two somethings actually. She's going to grab the moon necklace and sun earrings that she purchased from the fair the very first day, or I guess night at the uh, Festival of Colors in Bright Hollow, and say, I, uh, I actually got something for you guys uh, when I was in town. There was a festival, and I figured I might as well pick something up for you. You guys made me my bracelets, so I thought I should give you these.
There's a big smile that appears on Soleil's face. It's not like a hyperactive, giddy smile. It's a slow smile, slowly revealing the teeth, and there's crinkles up to her eyes. And she takes a step forward again. And are you like holding out which one you're giving to her, or?
Yeah, Estelle's, uh, when she takes the one step forward, she's going to, when Soleil took a step forward, Estelle's going to take a, one step forward as well, and, hand her the earrings.
The sun earrings?
Yes.
Okay. She happily takes them and looks down, and she admires the craftsmanship and the warm orange tint that seemingly almost goes with her eyes. It's a little bit darker. And she looks up to you and gives you a hug.
So right back, it's just, it's good to know that she's here and okay, and Leona already confirmed Soleil was fine, but it's just good to see it for herself.
This was so sweet of you. Thank you.
I try. You're very welcome. And then, she's going to, take a few, steps over, towards, Luan and, hand him the moon necklace.
You notice that Luan was continuing to walk over to the trees again as you approach him, and he kind of just stiffens up a bit and looks. So you got this for me, huh?
Oh, yeah, who else would be here?
He
Come on, sorry, you gone?
he just kind of looks at it for a moment and gingerly takes it from your hand and puts it around his neck. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Estelle's gonna give him a hug too.
Yeah, as you give him a hug, your arms wrap around him. Leanna, can I get an insight check?
Yep. 21.
21. It's the same as last time. It's really weird because his arms do go up, but you have a feeling that Estelle might be lost in the moment. And there's just something awkward about this embrace. It looks like, to put it in the kindest way possible, it looks a lot like when a young child has to hug the cousin that they're not very fond of. It's kind of begrudging.
Seems very odd for one of her best friends to not enthusiastically hug her.
Yes.
Leanna's going to take a couple steps forward and just look around, but it actually trying to hide it a little bit, trying to see where Luan was trying to sneak off to.
Are you trying to see anything? Because you see that, like, he was making a beeline for the tree line. Are you trying to, like, find a
see
path?
if there's anything, or see if there's anything specific that he was going to that specific tree for, or if it's just like tree lines in general to vanish into it.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, roll an either investigation or perception check.
Let's go perception. 17.
17? You look over in that direction and you do notice that there's a large stone over there. And I think looking in that direction, you see that there seems to be a imbalance in the leaf level. Like, there's the way Luan is walking, it looks as if that path has already been traveled. I mean, the leaf level is still kind of it's a couple inches thick. So he's kind of trudging through it, but it looks like kind of like a path someone would make in snow. It looks like there's already a path going to that same area.
Yeah, definitely not awkwardly stumbling his way over there. He has a purpose in mind. But once again, doesn't know how to bring it up, and calling him out would just hasten things. She's going to start nervously stretching her hands.
Estelle, anything that you're doing at this moment?
After a few seconds from hugging Luan, she's going to pull away a little bit and say to him and Soleil, well, I'm very, I really am sorry I haven't come by more often. I probably should, but you know how I get with single-mindedly focusing on one thing. But I'm here now. It's been a while, so let's just make the most of it, yeah? And how about we go on and head over to my place so we can uh I mean, we all know how great Laurel is at cooking, so let's just have a big welcome home meal or something. It's simple, but it'll work. And you guys said you were trying to figure out something to do, right?
Luan just has a kind of scratching his chin moment, like he's thinking, and just every so often looking back down at the necklace you gave him. And Soleil, again with a big smile on her face, says, it, It's been a while since we've all been over to Laurel's, but I kind of wanted this to be about us, you know? It's been so long since we've done anything together. I miss it. And I love Laurel like the next person, but I don't know, maybe go ahead.
Well, then let's go out and find something to do. Let's go fishing or just I don't know, even just talking and hanging out. It doesn't need to be something big. If it's with you guys, then I'll be happy.
I can put on a show if you'd like.
That I did see you perform that earlier. That was something really cool. Um, and Soleil looks over to you, Estelle. Where did you? I ran into her earlier, and she said that you guys met up and have been adventuring for a little while. How did you meet?
Oh, well, we ended up, we actually met, when we were, uh,
At
oh,
Ember
how do
Hollow, we'd all ended up going to the Festival of Colors that they have there, and they have events. And in the center of town, we all went after exploring a bit, and we got randomly selected to be on the same team for the tug of war challenge.
yeah, and after that, it's just been one adventure after another, really. And a very, very long story. Uh, even though her focus is not currently on uh Yuan, because she's facing Soleil, would Estelle's passive perception of 17 be enough that he's still walking away?
Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, you notice him slowly skulking away.
Yeah, then she'll turn to face him confused, and start to move after him and say, Luan, where are you heading off to? Come on, let's go back.
There's a clear discomfort on his face. Look, Estelle, I'm happy you're home and I'm grateful that you're okay, but, you know, last time we talked, I got kind of a face full of dirt and my shin almost broken, so I. Can I just have a little bit of time alone?
Uh, hey. Yeah, this is definitely odd enough for like time alone at the reunion. That's definitely gonna. Would that be alright if I incite that?
Sure.
Just don't want to be overly rolling, you know?
I got
23.
it. Um. Do do do. So as you're talking to him, there's a discomfort. There's a discomfort coming from Luan, and his eyes look pleading when he mentions this, and kind of hinting to you that he's just a bit uncomfortable after the interaction with Passeth. But you also notice that his eyes seem to dart just one time to the left at the tree next to him.
Estelle is going to uh just shoot, words are failing me. Estelle is going to look over in that same direction, curious at what it was, and go over to I guess find whatever it was he was looking at.
So as you look over at this tree, this dead, gnarled, blackened tree, you notice there's a hole in it, roughly about the eye level of Luan. And as you head over there, he kind of cuts you off running in front and saying, "What do you want from me?"
Alright, looks like we have a quick pause. I'm going to step away as well because the dog is continuing to cry at me. So I'm going to go let him out.
No problem. So, as people seem to be stepping away at the moment, a bit of a family calling from Zalden's side. I'd like to say hello, everyone. It's good to see you, hear from you, those of you that watch. It's been fun, the game so far, and while life might be a little bit stressful, it's always good to come back to this. Passeth again, played by Blinks, will not be in this session due to some outside real life stuff currently happening, so hopefully he will be back next week, but we will see. I hope you guys are enjoying this. And again, starting, I believe I set the date at May 24th. Hold on, let me just double check that. Don't want to. Yeah, May 24th will be the beginning of the Dragon Prince campaign, so keep tuned in for that. Is everyone back?
Yes, I am. Apologies.
No problem. Maru's still dealing with their dog. So exciting.
Oh, this is fun. Welcome back.
So, as you walk over to the tree, Luan kind of heads you off and says, "What do you want from me?"
What do I... Alright. The main thing that I want is to figure out what's going on with you two. Why are we here? And she's going to actually not forcefully, but try to push him out of the way to figure out what's going on. Something's wrong.
Okay. I'm going to need then a strength roll from you.
That thing that everyone in our party is so fantastically good at.
Yep, let's go. 4.
As you... Luan isn't a muscular guy himself either. But as you do try and just push past him and just try and see what's going on here, there's a surprising resistance coming from him as he stands his ground firmly and looks at you and says, You've been gone for 2 years, and immediately just assume you can walk back in like nothing ever happened. And as these words escape from his mouth, Soleil just kind of heads over towards your guys' direction and is like, Luan, it's okay, calm down. And he just starts taking a couple of deep breaths.
Just because someone leaves doesn't mean that they're not them when they come back. There's catching up to do, but relationships shouldn't change that drastically.
Exactly. I never said I assumed everything would be the same. I thought it would be similar, yeah, but I knew something would be different. 2 years is a long time. I don't know what's happened at that time, and that's why I wanted to find you, to talk, to figure out how life has been, to let you guys know how I've been doing, what's changed with me, and I'm just really worried now. Please, what is going on?
there's a snort from him, and he just kind of turns his head away, and Soleil exhales and says, I mean, Estelle, it is difficult. When we've done everything together, and I know this sounds posturing, and I'm telling you something you already know, but we were close, and when you up and left and didn't even offer to take either of us with you, we felt lost. I mean, since we were kids, there was nothing else that we did than stick together, and with you gone, it changes things. How do you act like the same person when a part of you is no longer there?
You do your best. You grow, you learn, you change, and then when that person comes back, you speak with them, you work with them, you try and find the balance again. Do this all the time.
Soleil just kind of bites her lip, bottom lip, and doesn't really say much, while there's just this growing tension in Luan's body as he just cannot make eye contact with you, Estelle.
He's going to she's going to maneuver to where he's currently looking and say, I know the first time we met back up earlier wasn't the best. Trust me, that's far from how I wanted it to be, but yeah, if things are really so different now, then please let's just talk. Figure out what's different. Figure out how to live with the differences. I don't want to lose you guys, and that feels like what's happening.
Luan shakes his head again and says, when being your friend meant that we took on every burden that you did, every glare, every look, we took that on. And then you left. And every glare and every look remained. You left us. You abandoned us.
So you're blaming her for the actions of others?
She didn't have to leave. She chose to leave.
Wanderlust runs in the family.
Well, I'm glad you were able to give in to your lust then, Estelle. Soleil just kind of puts her hand in her face in her hand, and
If you didn't like what was going on, what stopped you from leaving too?
And where would I go?
I don't
What?
know. I don't know you very well, if at all. I'm simply doing what I was doing before. I If you don't like the situation where you are, if you are able to leave, you can do so and set something up for yourself, something different. You don't have to just sit and take it.
That sounds like the words of someone who had a lot more in their life going for them than I did, that we did.
Maybe so. Like I said, I don't know you. I don't know the entire situation. I'm simply using what I have learned, what my mom, who was actually from here, taught me. She left. Sho hates her about as much, if not possibly more, than he hates Estelle.
Well, maybe if some of us aren't as strong as you or Estelle, maybe some of us aren't as capable. Maybe the world is too scary for some of us to walk out alone with nothing to go back to if we did.
Sometimes you gotta take the risk.
Words of someone who are spoiled. And as he says that, Soleil says, Luan, stop. It's been difficult. It's been hard. And there are things that I guess along the lines of Leanna's teachings that we've had to do ourselves in order to get by.
Leanna is just clenching one of her hands and is not trusting herself to speak right now, because this is the second person in a couple weeks now to call her spoiled, to call her privileged, when she has worked hard. Her family has worked hard, and she is not happy with repeatedly saying, well, I can't do things a different way. Just because you can means that you've had a cushy life. So she is mad as hell right now.
Both going to finally speak up and say, I'm sorry, I didn't. I, if. Why are words always so hard at the worst times? Like, I'm. You said that. You said that if you had left, there wouldn't be anything to come back to. Well, that's just wrong. If you had left and I had stayed, then there would still be me. There would still be Soleil. You don't have nothing. You have something. And if you had left and we had met, then we would have traveled together. I never meant for any of this to be some kind of wrong against you. It hurt me to leave. I didn't say, I didn't have much of a goodbye because didn't trust myself to not stay. If I had, it would have kept me here. And I'm sorry. I I I guess it doesn't matter to explain what I did, but still, I at least want you to know why, because I don't know, just because we're friends, at least we're supposed to talk, have fun, confide in each other our deepest fears, and to be able to just laugh about the fun, stupid times, and to get upset for each other whenever something happens, and help cheer each other up when we're sad. It, because that's what friends do. And that's what I'm doing right now. I acknowledge that I know that things haven't been the greatest since I left. I know that now, and I'm sorry that it happened like that, but you said it yourself. Just by being my friend, you took on some of the burdens I had. Well, I'm here now, and let me take some of those burdens back just to make them a little bit easier. That's what friends do, help each other through troubles.
You're right. The voice of Soleil pipes up. But that's the thing is, when you left, those problems and those issues did not just leave with you. And we did have to deal with them. But we also were able to find another friend that was able to help us through these terrible times. So just like the cycle of nature, things happen for a reason. If it's to make something grow stronger, or if it's to make something that is too weak to live die off, then so be it. So, while I don't share the same view as Luan, I do not hold you leaving against you.
So you yeah, just Estelle's very emotional. She's like on the brink of tears, was keeping it in. So you sorry, just oh, okay. You made a new friend, you said? So who's that?
Luan initially is the one to pipe up first, and you hear him mutter under his breath, What's it to you? But it's loud enough for everyone to kind of hear. And Soleil, again, just kind of makes a gesture with her hand of stop it. And looks at you and says, well, about, a year ago or so, we found this man. His name was Mr. Othronus. He really helped us through these difficult times.
Does that name at all sound familiar?
Roll a history check.
All right.
Leanna, you can too, if you want.
Okay. Yes.
History. There it is. And 15. Not that
7.
bad.
Leanna, the name doesn't seem to ring much of a bell to you. Estelle, the name specifically doesn't ring much of a bell to you, but you can tell it sounds elven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a very nice. He is a very nice man. And that's how nature works. It provides when you need something.
All right. Well, if we're still trying to think of something, trying to lighten the mood, well, if there's still something we are looking to do, then how about you introduce me to him? I mean, you guys be friends with him. He probably isn't, uh, probably wouldn't be that hard for us to be friends too, you know?
A deep inhale and exhale from Soleil as she says, well, at the moment he's gone. Last he said he was going up to Bronze Watch for a performance. So it's been a while since we last saw him.
Would that performance have been? When was the Maestro's body taken at Bronze Watch?
The Maestro's body was taken when you guys started, so that would be a month, 2 weeks. That would be about a month and a half ago, give or take a few days. Probably a month and 22 days or so ago.
Would that have been almost 2 months ago?
Almost 2 months ago, yes.
No, that was in character.
Oh. She says, probably generally around that time-ish, yeah.
Yeah, Estelle just looks very concerned, like worst possibility just became reality kind of a look. Um, did did he mention going to any place else, or was it just
Or
to Bronze
what was
Watch?
or what was the performance?
And that too, yeah.
Well, he's a talented musician. He's hold on one second. I completely forgot the name of the fucking instrument. Um Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
No worries.
Ah. Yeah, he plays the viol. He didn't mention anywhere else that he was going.
And he was going to perform or see a performance?
It was his performance that he was going to do.
Oh,
Is everything okay, guys?
Yeah, I'm just not certain how Leanna would continue to move on.
Same. Trying to think of questions to ask and or statements to make. Sorry for the quietness, the lull.
No problem. I'm going to do something real quick.
Okay.
All right.
Leanna, what's your passive perception?
15.
Okay.
Uh,
And yours was 19, Estelle?
passive perception is 17.
17. Okay. So if you meet... Is it aggressor wins? I'm
usually
trying to...
it beats it. But that's
So-
for AC. If it's a contested roll, I don't know.
I'm gonna say that you have to for that. As you're just
I
kind
would. Sorry to interrupt, but the way I would do it, is because, for example, with stealth and perception check, usually, how would you roll stealth versus perception for an active check? I would apply the same principle here.
Or
Yeah.
insight versus deception.
Yeah. Like, how would a tie between that work out? Would it go towards the person who's deceiving or the person who's trying to notice the deception?
exactly. Good point. So I would say then, as you're thinking, Leanna, due to your kind of angle, it's a bit weird. But Estelle, you do notice that, despite the fact he's looking away from you, one arm seems to be behind his back, and you just ever so slightly hear the sound of tinking wood, like he's kind of rummaging around in the knothole that you noticed before.
Right? And Estelle's going to uh you know what? You know what? Just go through with it. Estelle's going to turn and say, "What is with this tree?" And just go over to him and just try to reach around and behind him to try to get whatever it is he's reaching for first.
Okay, roll me an athletics or an acrobatics check.
I will take the acrobatics. A 15.
Yeah, as he tries to go move in your way and goes no, no. You kind of just sneak under him and move lithely, and your arm goes into the tree, and you just feel tree in there.
There's absolutely nothing.
Absolutely, it just feels like a tree.
Yeah, she's gonna look towards uh Luan and say, "What what is going on with this tree? Why do you keep going to it? What were you reaching for?"
He kind of looks at you and goes, wait, and looks in the tree himself. And you see, just kind of from the side perspective, a look of befuddlement on his face as he looks very confused. As you hear him quietly say, "Where did my book go?"
Oh no, why? Oh no, no. Why do I think that? Oh no. Oh no, something just clicked. Oh, the book from the last session. Oh no. Please don't tell me that's the same book. Uh, Note, all of this is out of character.
Oh, I know, I know.
Yeah, just. Oh no. Oh no, that's concerning.
What did the book look like?
Uh, you are way too far away, Leanna.
To hear that. Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, uh, then Estelle asks, a book? What book?
Immediately, his hairs stand on end and his eyes go wide, and he kind of just covers his mouth for a moment and says, "Nothing. I found something earlier. Anyway, we." And he just kind of holds his head in his hands, and Soleil says, "Luan? What's going on?" And he just kind of looks up to her a little bit nervous and just kind of juts his head to the tree. And her eyes go a little wide. You
Okay,
had.
what? Sorry, what? What is going on? What book? What's...
You had one job, Luan. One. And she just shakes her head and, oh boy, okay, so gotta find that now.
What
What are we looking
what
for?
book?
The only book that's here.
Oh, that's when it's gonna click in Estelle's mind what book it is. It's like who knows? Maybe he got a book from somewhere else, but if it's outright said and confirmed the only book, that's where uh the the dots start to connect. And she doesn't know whether to say anything or not.
I can't believe that you would lose something that Mr. Althronis gave you as a very special. And Luan cuts her off and says, "You know what? I wasn't trying to, okay? Sometimes stuff gets mixed up."
Hey, wait. Against her better judgment, considering what happened to her when she read the book, she's going to, against her better judgment, because it's the only way to seemingly get answers here, is uh going to again reach into her pouch and bring out the book that she found in the uh, research area and say, "Please tell me it's not this one."
Make a sleight of hand check, Estelle.
Sleight of hand? Oh, okay. 11.
As you take out the book and you hold it in your hand, that leather-bound book, in a flash, it is immediately out of your hand and in Luan's as he quickly snaps it out of your hand. And he is going to fucking book it.
Yeah, no, casting,
Leia is going to.
Hold on, Estelle first.
yeah, Estelle is going to cast Entangle.
Okie doke. And Leanna, you were doing?
Run if she has to catch up. Bonus action, run and try and tackle him or just impede his movement.
Okay. So Entangle, I'm going to say that you were able to get that off pretty early, so I'll move him back up. And what's the DC for that?
It is a strength save of 15. Let me look at the VTT. There we go.
Okie doke. So as you conjure these plants, calling forth the very ones that are surrounding you at the moment, they twist and turn up and go around his legs and go up his body and hold them in place as he is unable to force himself out. Because I would say, Leanna, you would know how this works as you've seen Estelle cast it before. Give me an acrobatics check first.
Natural 20 for a 28.
Okay. As the spell goes off and Luan is in place, Leanna, you just kind of do this jumping front flip as you use the propulsion from your back leg to kind of lift you up into the air, and you're about to land directly on this man. Can you roll me an athletics check with advantage?
17.
17. Yeah, just for shits and giggles. Okay, good thing. He had disadvantage, but he did. One of them was a 19, but the other one was a 13. So,
Nice.
Leanna, as you do this front flip, as your leg carries you up into the air over the vines so you aren't impeded by their presence, you just like airdrop onto this man and immediately take him to prone.
Why are you running?
And Estelle's going to go over and take the book back if she can.
Are you impeded by your own entangle?
I
For the duration, the
don't
plants turn the
know.
ground into difficult terrain, so I think so. It doesn't say that you're immune to it.
Yeah, it probably, yeah.
A creature in the area. Okay. So yeah, you're kind of just stepping. You're not far away from him, but you're kind of just stepping over the plants a little bit, and yeah, he's fully restrained, so you can take the book easy enough out of his hands, and he just turns his face to the dirt, kind of frustratedly screaming as Soleil from behind is just laughing. Just oh gosh.
Yeah, she's immediately putting the book away and asking him, what is happening?
As you put the book away,
Why
make
did
a
you-
wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save. 26.
As you put the book away, there's just a moment of you feeling like, no, I should keep this. But you immediately shrug that off.
Okay, that's just another bad news situation. And again is asking, what is going on? What is the book? What? Please, just talk to me.
He is keeping his face firmly in the fucking dirt.
Leanna's gonna try and roll him over.
I would say make a strength check.
6.
6. The vines are kind of holding him in place. He's kind of stuck there. Like they were going up his body when you landed on him, and now that he's fully on the ground now, he's kind of just stuck there.
Why were you running? I understand that you wanted your book back since it's yours, sure, but why run? Why just snatch it and run away? Why can't you explain what's going on?
Just more dirt screaming.
Do I understand the intent behind the screaming and yelling?
It's very obviously out of frustration.
No,
Just
I mean
like-
with the circlet, am I getting a more understanding of what's
That-
going on from him? Or is that
that-
only party members?
That's only Estelle and Passeth.
Okay.
He's just like someone yelling into a pillow after a shitty day of work. He's just screaming into the dirt. Soleil, again, just chuckling back there.
Leanna's gonna turn to Soleil. Can you tell us what's going on?
Well, I mean, you have his book and you have him face down in the dirt. That's kind of a summation of what's happening currently.
No, I mean, why he snatched it immediately and then tried to run instead of answering what was going on, and why he seemed things outside of the sheer insanity of what is exactly happening right this second. Things don't feel right.
Well, it's a very important book to him. He wanted it back.
So saying, yes, this is mine, and can you please return it to me, is out of the question?
She kind of shrugs and says, obviously he's not the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Diplomatic at the moment. He's very upset, and he's kind of powered by those emotions right now.
Estelle is very worried because, like, she read the book once and she has felt it tugging at her mind, and or at least that's what she's assuming that it is, because like, oh no, I should keep that. No, I didn't think that. That's something else. Just assumptions and deductions. And with having it basically 3 days go by and she just read it once, just imagining what Luan must have done in the year, or 2 year, no, 1 year is when they end up. Just having that is just very much worrying her.
And I don't know if Leanna would think of what I just thought of, so I'm just gonna move on.
But Estelle is going to walk over to where Luan's head is, as he's just lying in the ground, and sit down and just very gently place a hand on his shoulder and say, "Please, Luan, what has been happening since I left. Why is this happening? Please, just help me understand.
As you say that, the screams begin to subside, and he lifts his face out of the dirt, his face now coated in this kind of darkish brown color. It reached past the inches of leaves that you sit on now. And he just looks up at you and humorlessly says, "The answer's in the book."
I read this once, and it forced me asleep for days. How much did you read it? How much did you write in it?
You read it in the wrong location.
And where?
Read the book and find out.
Oh. What have you gotten yourselves wrapped into? And uh where was it? That's where it is. Estelle is going to wait, hold on 1 second. Is this? Yes, it is. Okay. How long does entangle last?
1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. So depending on how long this has been, it may or not be off soon. All right. It's a terrible idea. And she's going to think towards Leanna with the new ability that she has. She's going to try to give the impression of, I'm doing a really, really stupid idea. Please keep an eye on these two for me.
Leanna will nod.
As these thoughts are
And
kind of sent to you, Leona, you just see like a visual depiction of Estelle's face with kind of a silly expression on it, and then a pair of eyes that are pointing to two smaller figures that look like Luan and Soleil.
Leanna's just gonna nod. There's not much else they can do in this situation.
she's going to take a few steps onto the black lightning bolt kind of path area. She's going to let her concentration on entangle fall, and she is going to cast on herself enhance ability, and I will link that in the chat. And she's oh wait, it's checks, not saves.
Yes.
I misread that. Apologies. I probably will not cast that then.
Do you have
Well, who
plus?
knows? The check could still help. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I asked if you had plus.
I do not have bless. Well, it can't hurt. So Estelle is going to cast at second level enhance ability, and it will specifically be Owl's wisdom to give advantage on wisdom checks. It might not help, but it'll do something. Who knows? Can't be too careful. And
Okay.
then once she does that, she's going to, against all better judgments, start to read the book.
Okay. So, as the concentration falls and Luan is released from his his viney prison, he kind of stands up and brushes himself off. And you open the book, and again you see the initial entries talking about the predictions of the stars and when they're going to go out and whatnot. And you kind of flip through because you have already seen all this stuff. But then you kind of slow down when it gets to the gibberish part. And you look at it. And as you do, it's almost like something starts to click in your head. Something about the air that you're breathing, something about the location that you're in. My phone is yelling at me for some reason. So, as this all begins to click, there's a moment of understanding, but almost like you can't put it into words. And then you look up. And weirdly, something that you weren't able to do before, you just had to keep reading what you saw. But you look up and you see this oddly spectral visage of Laurel. And she is on her knees in a meditative kind of position. Her arms are to her side, her head is up, and it looks like she's very peaceful. And then out the corner of your eye, you see the woods, and you see something in them. You see a shimmering golden light and it expands. And you see a figure kind of step out of it clumsily. And you see the shimmering portal behind them close. And you see this figure kind of put their head down and approach slowly, one step at a time. And as the figure, who is also spectral, gets closer and closer, you see in their hand appears to be a bag of some sort. It looks jagged and bumpy, like there's cloth over it. There's cloth as the bag, but inside of it, whatever it's containing is jagged and bumpy. And this figure gets closer and closer, and you see there's a moment of hesitation as they're about 15 or so feet away from Laurel. And then they rush. And taking the bag over their head, they swing it forward, making contact with the side of her head, and she immediately hits the ground. There's a splash of blood that comes out. And the figure, after making contact, seemingly drops and hits the ground themselves clumsily, and something seems to spill out of the bag when they do, and there's a moment of panic, of not understanding, almost like this figure is panicking, and then realization and calm hits them. They take out of their side a dagger, and then out of the other side a flower, and that flower is poured over the dagger, and they reach their hand up and try to pierce it into Laurel's skin, but nothing happens. The dagger is stopped. And then they try again and again, but nothing seems to happen as her rock-hard skin seems to keep the dagger from penetrating it. There's another moment of confusion, of frustration, of anger, and then realization. And in that moment of realization, they take the flower back out and roll Laurel back over onto her back, and they pull down on her chin, and they pour the flower directly into her mouth. The flower being emptied, the figure stands up, still seemingly unsure, but needing to get out of here at this moment. And the figure turns around and looks at you, and you make eye contact with Luan.
He's just going to... Sorry, were you saying something?
Yes, 1 second. Give me 1 second. That's right. Leanna?
Mm-hmm.
Does a 16 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And... so that would be math. So, as you're looking over this, Estelle, Leanna, you're kind of watching Estelle in this moment of her trying to figure something out, and she looks like she's staring off into the distance. And as you think about that for 1 second, you feel something poke into your side as you look over. And with a dagger in hand, Luan has stuck it into your rib cage. And before you even have a moment to react, oh my god. Okay. Okay, can I take a picture of this?
crit?
Yes.
You don't need to take a picture. I'm going to believe what you say.
I know, but I feel bad about this because
Don't.
it was a crit on inflict wounds.
Okay. These things happen.
Oh, inflict wounds.
Oh boy. Uh Give me a second here. Um as you feel that piercing onto one side, you feel from the other side a hand reach out to you and touch your shoulder, and there's a shock of pain and the feeling of rot overcome you, and there's a second where you just feel numb as uh, you take 37 points of damage.
Okay. Yep. I am downed.
And as Leanna falls down, that is where we will take our break.
Yep. Overkilled me by 10.
Oh. Oh, no, 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 no.
I was thinking it would hit. I was not thinking that would crit.
Hey, like I said, these things happen.
Yeah, yeah, crit happens.
I've been rolling pretty well this session as well, so.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to head on out to get some dinner. I'll be back in like 20, 30 minutes, more or less.
Alright, and I'm gonna go take care of the dog, and then I will be back.
Okie dokie. Enjoy your breaks. Oh boy, guys. This is oh um was not expecting that. That was yikes. Um yeah, here's the thing. Don't prepare a spell that you're not prepared to use. That inflict wounds was fucking harsh. Jesus Christ. Um. Hmm. What do I even say during this time? Like I'm at a loss for words. Cause holy shnikes. I guess during this time I will say I appreciate you all. I appreciate you as our audience. I gotta stop saying my. I'm a little narcissistic that way. Uh but again, everything you guys do and when you watch, it means the world, and I just I don't know what to say at this moment. I'm so flabbergasted by I roll like such shit on all of my NPC rolls, and I I was not expecting that to be the one good time I rolled well. Uh yeah, boy. Well, I guess in the meantime, I will say that um again in May, late May, we will be beginning a second campaign, not with these current players, with a different set of players, and it will be the Tales of Zadia TTRPG. It will have vibes of horror. It will be mainly political intrigue, so if you're into that kind of thing, you're in for a very, very fun time. Uh, yeah, I am just so. Oh boy. What do you do in this kind of moment? I mean, I know what I'm going to do, but like, I was not expecting this after their last combat encounter resulted in them not getting a single hit point of damage done to them. Uh, oh boy. I. Huh. So, um, what are you guys up to? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this right now. I'm just. I'm kind of nervous, but hey, that's how the story goes. Uh. When looking at D&D villains or even D&D monsters, I think that the best way to get across their intimidation and the sense, the presence that they should have being something that the player should fear is the sense or lack thereof of something happening. It should be unexpected. And while I, at this point, didn't make it the most unexpected, the point is that you make it ambiguous. And while there might be a strong lean to one side or the other, it's that lead up that I think is what gets the players invested, and that's what I hope my players get invested in. But yeah, oh boy, it's been it's been a little bit of a rough week in the real life over here, so having this come up now is a little bit overwhelming, but at the same time, I will be so proud of what my players do regardless, and I only hope that I give them the game that they deserve. Yeah, God, I'm usually so good at talking during these. Let's talk about something slightly different. Baldur's Gate 3. I am super, super excited, but I cannot find myself playing the game again quite yet. Because there are so many things about it that need to be updated for me to feel decent about it yet. There's still the lack of ability to mod a character's build, which feels really weird because I don't like playing as this stick thin nothing. Like, it's so weird to have, for me to have this very, very thin character, and body proportions are a huge part of the customization process. So it just feels kind of lame when you don't have that customization option. And there are plenty of other things I wish they would add, which I understand is not something you can just slapdash together. Like, with every customization option for size, you have to, add a different different set of, not set of clothing, but you have to adjust the clothing as such, because if you don't, then you just have skin clipping through clothing, and that's weird. So yeah, I feel like there has to be a few more things that are added before I can get back into Baldur's Gate 3 before really feeling comfortable with putting more hours into it.
I am back.
Welcome back. Oh, okie doke. Well, that was the thing.
Yep, that happened, but these things happen.
Yeah, I'm. Uh, I feel the only reason I hesitated is because I was starting to get vibes of the previous game we were
Oh,
in.
no. I didn't get that at all. Instead of being hit by and overkilled by, me failing, not wanting a save and having the damage doubled on an element that the race that I was playing really should have had resistance to, this was a random crit. It's a completely different situation.
I know. I just. Because I kept thinking about how you guys had the last combat encounter. You guys weren't hit once, and now I understand it's not, and it's not interpreted by you in this way, but I just keep thinking, wow, this looks like overcompensation on my part.
Nope. The dice just wanted it to fall this way.
Very curious to see Estelle's reaction now.
Especially since, if you'll let me, I would like to at least have Leanna call out or at least make a loud sound as she goes down.
That's very fair. Oh boy, howdy.
And if we were level 5, I know we just got to 4, but if we were 5, I'd still be up.
Yeah, a little bit more HP, and then do you get?
I would have Uncanny Dodge at 5.
That's right. I was gonna say there's something that rogues get, but I can't place my finger on it.
Yep. Yeah, I get Uncanny Dodge next level.
If you live to next level, ha ha ha. No, I'm kidding.
Well, hey, if I die, I die.
The ever looming threat of a Dungeons and Dragons character.
Yeah, sometimes shit happens.
But I was talking about Baldur's Gate 3 before, and how I find it kind of hard to get into at the moment because there are just a few customization options that are still lacking in the game.
I heard you mentioning clothing clipping, and that's really, really hard to fix for some models and some skins, depending.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's also, in some cases, more effort than it's worth to fix because it's not that major of a thing overall. And it would take more work and more resources to redo everything than it is to just leave it.
Very true. I was bringing up the problem that currently in Baldur's Gate 3 there's absolutely no scale for body shape, size, or build.
Mm.
So everyone is rail fucking thin. And it feels weird to play a barbarian, and the barbarian looks like he hasn't eaten in 70 days.
Yeah, that's a customization option that should have been in from the beginning, but I don't know the level of the scope that they were working on. I don't know if this was pushed out before it was ready. I don't know if it was left on the cutting room floor because it was just too difficult to make it work with everything in the game.
Well, this is still technically considered an alpha, so they're still adding a shit ton of stuff. It's just like until
Then
they.
I would, well, yeah, I was gonna say then I wouldn't criticize them too harshly, especially since it's an alpha, not even open beta.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I know that they still have plenty to add, and I'm not saying that the game is bad because of it. It's just like until they add that feature, I don't know, it kind of feels boring looking at the same size of model and not being able to customize any of the build. So until they do that, I just want to wait and play the game once that's added.
Makes sense.
Oh. Boy, howdy. So we found out how Laurel got poisoned.
Yes, we did. It was my second theory.
Yeah. I I was wondering if you guys were gonna catch on to that.
I had, Leanna didn't.
Fair.
And I'm trying very hard to not have her come up with things that I have that I don't think she would have put together.
Again, very fair. There's that real difficult measure where it's all like, oh god, I have a good feeling of what's happening, but do I introduce this? Because I feel like that would be either, like you said, out of character for them, or it would just be metagaming essentially.
I'm also trying to play Leanna's int of about 12, even though she has a wisdom of around 16.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's not stupid by any means. She's slightly above average. She notices things, but doesn't always put them together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's also different kinds of intelligences. Like,
Yeah.
she might not be the best at deducing everything that comes her way, but you know, she might have more of a.
She has her areas of competence.
Yeah. Like, she'll obviously be able to recognize stories and tales that she's been told because of where she lives. She'll be able to recognize, you know, smart ways of addressing shows and performances, stuff like that. You know, don't set up your circus tent next to the swamp because you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah.
Half of your audience is underwater before the show even begins.
Not good to tumble on that, that's for sure.
Just the sound of squishing wetness every time you move.
Yeah.
Get swamp feet afterwards.
Especially since she doesn't wear boots.
Yeah, no, not the best for barefoot. Oh, yeah, hopefully next week Passeth will be able to join us and continue the adventure.
Yes.
I would hate for him to miss out on even more than he has.
Yeah, that would suck.
You excited for the Multiverse of Madness coming out soon?
I haven't watched a Marvel film since the first Thor.
Oh, Jesus. Well, never
Like,
mind then.
I mean, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, but that was also out of order, and I saw it in theaters with friends. Like, I'm interested, but I'm so far behind and so bad at sitting down and watching things that I'm just letting it all pass me by.
Hey, that's perfectly fair. Oh, boy. I'm starting to get a little stiff myself. Do you mind if I step away for a moment?
Go for it. I don't really have much to talk about, at least that I would be allowed to talk about. So it'll just be silence for a bit.
Okay, everyone, take this as your moment of zen, and I'll be right back in just a few minutes. Oh, God.
Oh. Well, I guess I'm on my own for a little bit then.
Sorry, I'm
I
here.
have. Hmm? Oh, no, you're good. You're good. I just saw the you were muted, and uh I just assumed that you were out doing something.
Yeah. I just got back, but actually, you can take over because I need to fix something with my headset because it's freaking out.
Oh, that's fun.
Give me a sec.
All right. Well, uh, uh, as soon as I said it, I realized how awkward that sounded. But my classes just got a little bit left to go before summer break, and I cannot uh wait for it to come. It has been a relatively rough semester, compared to the previous semester, at least. And there's like two more classes, Monday the 2nd and Wednesday the 4th, and that's it. And then I can just dedicate my time to thinking up even more T&D stuff. Uh, for example, there's one character concept that I'm currently playing where I thought, I want to play a wizard and I want a high level spell to be his objective. And most spells at high level, not all, but a seeming majority are more so for like combat stuff, like dealing damage. So it's like, what can I find that would uh, be a good spell to be the main character, the main focus of the character?
I am back.
And hello, uh, Bigby's headset is being weird and he's trying to fix it, so I'm just giving commentary on one of my character concepts that I'm currently playing.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, I can't remember if I've told you or not, but it's a my wizard character whose uh his main objective is to cast the clone spell because
You've told me about him, yeah.
okay. Uh so for the audience to know, his main objective is to cast the clone spell because uh, one of his very precious few friends is apparently into some other type of magical extracurricular activities, so to speak, because this all happened while they were in school learning magic. And uh, he his memory is a little spotty at best, so he can't remember exactly what happened. He just remembers being very angry at this friend, and when he next woke up, there was just this necrotic rot along his left arm. It was some type of necromantic curse, so he basically shifted his studies from 3 years of transmutation and shifted all of that to necromancy studies. And he basically did what was in my mind, an equivalent of a 4-year college for necromancy, he did in 2, which is very, very much a bad idea, but he did it and he excelled in it. And uh, he then spent some time exploring ruins, because uh, in his home country, Ziat, there's a lot of ruins there, and some of them have uh, artifacts or some type of magical presence to them. And in one of them, he found some type of evidence leading towards the existence of the clone spell. And he's now trying to figure out what to do to be able to cast it. And there's a lot that happened in recent sessions. I can't wait to reveal to the other characters because it was in a one-on-one with the DM, uh, and it was it was fun, and I can't wait for next Friday uh, to be able to reveal some things to the rest of the party and see what their reactions are. It's gonna be great.
Ooh. Well,
Welcome back.
thank you. My headset is fixed, so we can begin again.
All right.
Leanna, you wanted to say something?
Uh, just as she's going down, she's going to make a loud noise that I can't really articulate.
Is it like more of a shriek, or is it just kind of a guttural yell, or?
Closer to a guttural yell.
Okie dokie. So, Estelle, as you see this happen before you, and it starts to click in your mind what's going on, you hear this absolutely pained yell behind you.
It immediately turns.
And as you do so, you see pulling his dagger out of her side and her hand slowly receding the necromantic magic, a seemingly life-drained Lyanna falls to the ground. Can I have you roll for initiative?
Right.
I'll roll 2 for death saves, I guess.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There's the button. 11.
17.
Okay. Okay. So, first, as this occurs and Lyanna falls prone to the ground, Luan is first. And he is going to take himself off of the board, running deep into the forest, obscured. And that will be his turn. Lyanna, can I get a death saving throw from you?
Yep. Nat 1.
Okay. As you lie there, there's that necromantic energy that seems to be feeding off of the situation. And it seems to be eating away. And Lyanna, as you lie there, you feel yourself being pulled to something else, something further away, like you're staring at a night sky, but it's so much brighter. The starlight is so much more potent. As your turn ends, Soleil goes next. And Soleil simply walks 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and just smiles at you, Estelle, and says, No, she doesn't say anything. As she just continues her smile, looks you dead in the eye, and what is she going to do? I think she's going to wave her hand over herself, and there appears to be a spectral covering over her body. It looks almost similar to the design that Estelle has in her umbral form, as it almost looks like starlight is twinkling around her as she smiles brightly. Estelle, it is your turn.
He is just as Soleil looks into Estelle's eyes, the only thing she can see at this current moment is just pain, sadness, and just all of the things that Estelle was fearing could happen is happening, and so much worse. And she is first and foremost the biggest thing that she's going to do before anything else is just simply ask, choking out the single word, why?
You're met with a smile.
Alright. And with that, and only that, her action, or first her bonus action will be to cast Healing Word on Leanna.
Okay.
That will be 6 points of healing. Not the best, but you're up.
Yes.
And right now her Luong is not here anymore. He is gone and running away. You said yes?
He ran into the woods and you cannot see him.
Alright. And with Leanna being healed, action. already cast a leveled spell, so I can't do that, so I'll have to do a cantrip, if anything else. She is going to use her action to go into her to use the Radiant Soul feature and tap into her ASMR ancestry. Even though the term hasn't been used, I'm just going to be using the term because, you know, that's what it is.
Okay. So you're sprouting out your angel wings?
Yes. And
Okay.
that is an action or use bonus action. And she is going to move on over to Leona, but still keeping her eyes on Soleil.
So you're
And
hovering over Leanna or next to Leanna?
she is hovering slightly to her side. She at the current moment doesn't trust the leaves, and she wants to make sure Leona is okay.
Okay. So you head over there, and by her side. Okay, that ends your turn. As your angelic presence makes itself known, the sound of the almost like a sword cutting through the air, but somehow more graceful, you beeline it over to Leanna, who at this moment is now awake. It is your turn, Leanna.
Thank you. Leanna's going to kip up because she doesn't do anything by halves. Take 2 steps forward and pull for one of her special cards and fling it at Soleil.
Okay, roll to hit. Wait, hold on before you roll.
Okay.
Give me 1 second because I forgot something. Let's see how that specifically works. Okay. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, Leanna.
Okay. 11.
11. As you go to throw the card at her, there's something that just compels you not to. However, the card can be directed elsewhere if you wish.
Well, I can't see Luan, can I?
Give me a perception check.
9.
No, you cannot.
Alright, can I try and bonus action and attack her with a special card? Since my first attack was foiled?
Sure thing, make a wisdom saving throw.
11.
Your hand is stayed. There's something compelling you not to attack.
Don't like this. Don't like this at all. What's going on? Why did you attack me?
would you like to move?
Already moved a little bit to get within range so I wouldn't be at extreme range for my cards.
Okay. You moved like 10 feet.
Yeah. She's fine where she currently is.
Okay, just making sure. With that being your turn, Soleil, just looking at you and seeing the inability to release that card in your hand, she has a smile on her face, and as she looks at you, she looks over towards Estelle, and that smile kind of droops a bit as there's almost like a seriousness that takes hold in that moment. And there's a pause as you see something familiar. Both of you see something familiar as Soleil's body turns to this darker color, her skin like the night sky, her body sprinkled with stars like freckles across her body. And there's a very familiar constellation design on her skin as she turns her attention to you, Estelle, as she holds her hand out, and a very familiar spell is formed in it as she casts Guiding Bolt. Okay. Does a 7 hit?
It does not.
As she casts this out towards you, there's a moment where you're confused and bewildered at what you're seeing, but then it clicks and you, with your angel wings, dodge out of the way, and the glittering orb of light seems to shoot past you and into the dark forest behind. As she... Now that's no fun. And she will, from the black path that she was standing on, she will move almost to the other side of this area, to the other side of where the dark forest starts again. Estelle, it is your turn.
She is going to also go into the starry form and going to specifically go into the form of the archer. And remind me, we did agree on transforming into the form, and the attack can be done on the same turn, yes?
Yes.
Alright. Where is it? There it is. A 19 to hit, and... Sorry, go on.
19 definitely hits.
Okay.
Is Sanctuary still up, or Wisdom saving
Oh.
throw?
Yep, that's right.
I
That's-
believe Sanctuary,
15, 20, 25, 30.
if apologies for interruption. I can't remember exactly, but I believe Sanctuary says once you... I can't remember if it says once you hurt, or if it's once you attempt to attack, or something like that. There's some deviation where if you go on the offense, it drops, and I can't remember if you have to actually hit, or if you only need to make the attempt.
That is correct. Yes. she did shoot at you, so then that means her sanctuary drops. Plus, she's out of range anyway, because that's a 30 feet range.
For the archery form?
No, for her
sanctuary.
sanctuary.
Oh, for sanctuary. Okay.
So yeah, roll
Okay.
damage.
All right. And as she draws back the bow, you won't listen, so I'll make you listen. And does 8 radiant damage.
The bow is knocked and then loosed, and it shoots true and hits her directly in the chest. This glowing light now pulsating. Yeah, that hurt.
And in her starry form, Estelle's everything other than her tattoos and starry image across her body is just blackness, and her eyes are blue and green are just orbs of blue and green. And to match them, little sprinkles of blue and green stardust start to, instead of fall, start to rise as she screams out to Soleil and hopefully to Luan if he can hear. I trust you. I love you. You. Before I knew I had actual family, you were my family. And you still are. And she's going to cast Guiding Bolt as she screams that out.
Can you cast Guiding Bolt twice?
Cast it twice?
Yeah, you just cast it.
No, the first thing was a starry form arrow.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought that was... Wow, I completely misread that. Whoopsie.
No, you're fine. You're fine. The first one was the arrow. This one will be the actual Guiding Bolt for Leon.
Okay, go ahead.
And that will be a 14.
A 14 does hit.
All right. And that will be 14 radiant damage.
Boy, howdy. As this second shot comes out and you make this emotional plea, your guiding bolt shoots true again, almost matching the same spot as your arrow hit, and you hear a cry out of pain of "Argh!" And there's a distinct heaviness in her breath as the smile is... Well, it faded once when looking at you initially, and now the frown that was there deepens as she looks at you in an almost bestial way.
And sorry, were you gonna do something?
No, go ahead.
Estelle is still hovering with her wings out and in the starry form. She's going to move. Oh, actually, wait a second. I just remembered. That's right. The Radiant Soul ability says that once per turn, you can have one attack or spell deal an additional 4 radiant damage to one target. So add 4 more damage to the guiding bolt.
Okie doke.
And she is going to fly over a full 30 feet to to Soleil and just shouting at her, "Please stop! I don't want to do this."
Is that your turn?
That'll be your turn.
Okay. As you guys are looking in that direction, oh god, no, I don't want to zoom. Why are you doing this to me? As you guys are looking in the direction of Soleil, who is now gasping and grunting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. There's a silence that momentarily holds over the scene, and then Liana, out of the corner of your eye, you see this shining, shimmering piece of metal fling past you and head straight towards Estelle. Doo-doo-doo. That is a 19 to hit.
19 will hit.
Okie doke. Oh, come on. Do I not have my D&D Beyond thing up? No, it's not. Okay, it's not coming up here for some reason. Weird. Oh, and then 1 on that. So you take 8 points of piercing damage as a dagger comes up from behind and stabs you in the shoulder.
He turns to see something that just is adding to all of this.
And as you turn, it almost like a ghost in the wind. It's like the figure disappears. If you wish to roll a perception check, you may.
Yep.
All right.
13. My rolls are abysmal.
12.
Yeah, it looks like Luan was there one moment and then just fades. Liana, it is your turn.
Well, since I cannot see Luan, Liana's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Pull a special card and use the guiding bolt to throw at Soleil non-lethally.
Okay, roll it.
$14.
Hits. Oh wait, it was advantage anyway, so. Oh,
Yeah.
That was with advantage. Okay, yeah, that hits.
That would be the wildfire, so I add my sneak attack. Okay, that is 14 damage, and she will take an additional 4 damage at the start of her next turn of bleed.
Okie doke. As the card makes impact with her, there's a shriek of pain that comes out, and a look of betrayal and a look of anger as the card embedded in her shoulder digs in deeper, and while not cutting any arteries or cutting any veins, is enough to send her to one knee, then another, and then she falls over.
Down you go. And then she's going to look for Luan.
I would say, because it's the same turn, I would say that perception check that original perception check stands.
Okay, well, I was using her bonus action to do that.
Oh, can you, because I gave, you know what, I'll allow it. 22. Yeah, he appears to be just in the brush at the edge of the forest.
There! She's going to call to Estelle and point to where she sees him.
I have an interesting request.
Yeah.
The way I interpret hit points is not only your physical ability, but because there's psychic damage, it's also just a will to fight, I believe, I guess is the best way to put it. So would it be okay if I roll myself 1d4 of psychic damage? That's okay? Just wanted to ask. If not, that's fine. But with Soleil going down and just having to fight her childhood friends who are doing all of this, I just thought it would be an interesting mechanical way to integrate RP and mechanics.
I like it. Go right ahead.
Alright. 1d4. That'll be 3 psychic damage that Estelle will take. And it is now Estelle's turn, yes?
Yes.
Alright. And with Luan's position being pointed out, she can see where he is now, I guess?
You know the general vicinity of where he is. So I would say, because I feel like that should be a perception check for you to actually see where he is, because someone does point them out, so you do know the general area. But since he still has a higher stealth than your perception, I would say it'd only be fair to roll another perception check, and if you roll lower, then you would just be tacking at disadvantage.
Alright. And where is perception? There it is. 21.
Yeah, you fucking see him. He rolled a 14 on his stealth.
She will she'll say to Luan, "You were always great at hiding, but I was always better at finding you." And she will cast once again Guiding Bolt.
Okay, roll it.
A 13 to hit.
A 13 misses.
Mm-hmm.
as you notice him kind of quickly dodge out of the way of it.
And did the perception check take up the bonus action?
I think I said it was allowed as a free action before.
Okay. Just
because
wanted to
I was
be sure.
Leanna was looking more closely on her turn. You were using information that had been provided.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure before I did anything else. And she will use her bonus action to again cast Healing Word on Leanna. That'll be 8 more healing.
Thank you.
Okay. Are you moving?
Sorry, just trying to make sure all my resources that I've used are, marked off and used. For movement, she'll move roughly right here looks good. Roughly 25 feet from where she was, closer to Luan.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how shapes work again on here. How can I draw like a rectangle? Draw shape?
Yes, you would go to draw shape, and then you can click and hold and drag to draw it. And if you hold the shift, it will snap to the grid for easier drawing. So it'll go exactly how many squares, and it's not an estimation.
Okie doke. So, as you end your turn there, okay, I gotta figure out how this works. Okay. And take it. Let's see. That one work. So, Luan, kind of in a pickle here, is going to let's see. Nope, I don't want that shape. Get out of here. There we go. Luan is going to look at you, Estelle, and he is going to say, "You could find me before, but now I don't think you know where to look." And in his hand, a sickening green radiance comes out, and he is going to cast Eldritch Blast at you.
Alright.
That is a dirty 20 to hit,
That'll hit.
and that is 3 points of damage.
Alright.
As he shoots out this energy at you, and it hits you, and it's a force, an odd one that you've never felt before. It feels unnatural. And he continues to say, "See if you can find me now." And he will retreat into the woods. Okie dokie. Hold on one second. First time using tools, guys. Sorry.
No worries.
You're fine. If there's anything you need, I've used Roll20 a fair bit, so if you'd like me to help in some way, I'd be glad to.
Can you guys see anything on the screen?
I see nothing but blackness.
Cool.
Same.
Why?
Is that supposed to happen?
No. I'm trying to turn on Fog of War.
It
Oh,
may have
Fog of...
fully fogged everything?
Yeah, if Fog of War probably is on, it's just been turned on completely. For everywhere.
Okay.
So yeah, now I see only where Luke is.
Yeah.
That's revealing. Okay. I'm getting good at this now.
Hey, there's no better time to learn.
Okie dokie. And then select. Do. Okie doke. It is now your turn, Leanna.
Let him go. We have her. We have proof, at least that they attacked us. He'll turn up.
Estelle's just looking out towards the woods where everyone ran, and is just going to, without turning, just wait. Oh no, I was about to move, but it's still technically your turn. I don't know if we're choosing to to end combat or not. I'll leave that up to what your next decisions are. But for the moment, she's just staring out into the woods.
Leanna's certainly not following him into the woods.
So that's your turn, Leanna?
She's going to walk over to Soleil and check on her.
Okay. Roll a medicine check.
I'm totally terrible at this. 22.
You can clearly see that there are some light burn marks on her chest where she was hit. They don't seem to be too severe. Your card is embedded in her clavicle, but it's not making her bleed out too much at the moment. Her breath is shallow, but it is still distinctively there, and it doesn't look like her condition is getting worse.
She's okay. Out cold, but okay. Let's take her to Uncle Moss or something.
Is that your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Estelle?
Oh, is she gonna do a stupid or not? Is she going to do the thing or not? I need to think for a moment. Apologies.
No problem.
No worries. Thinking is always a good thing to do.
Yeah. She's going to... She's gonna call back and say, "You're right. You should do that." And she's gonna move forward towards the woods and try to find Luan.
Okie dokie. Given that you're in the woods itself at the moment, I would say that this is a perception check with disadvantage.
All right. Oh, I just remembered. Technically, what was it? I cast enhance ability earlier, and that was for wisdom, and perception is wisdom, so I could also
You
have
took some
advantage.
damage, so you would need to.
So, yeah, I'll roll a concentration check to see if I still have that up, and
Okay.
then if I roll 10 or higher, I can have a normal roll for this. Does that sound okay?
That sounds great.
All right. Nat 1. All right, that answers that question. All right, so
Sorry,
I will
buddy.
have disadvantage on this perception check. That's still a 23.
Jesus Christ, you guys. Hold on.
Hey, I had some pretty shit rolls earlier.
Yeah. Fucking hell. You... okay. Okay, I'm doing this, guys. You are able to spot him right there. But do note that he is obscured by trees and rocks, so he does have cover.
Okay. So, how far did she move? She moved 20 feet to get there, so she can move another 10. So if she were to move diagonal up and right 2 spaces for 10 feet to right here, would that be clear enough to get him?
He would still be behind the rock, technically. So he would have... You can hit him, but it would be... He would have a higher AC.
Okay. Okay, so... Wait. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it. She's going to move... oh wait, if I do that, I won't be able to see where I want to move. You know what? That's fine. Estelle is going to move right here, so she's 5 feet within Luan's range. And she is going to cast Shillelagh.
Okie doke.
Oh wait, yeah, Shillelagh. Oh wait, Shillelagh's a bonus action, so I would still have an action afterwards. Okay. But yeah, she is going to try to hit with Shillelagh.
Okie dokie, roll to hit.
A 15.
Let me check really quick. Because he would have... 'cause 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 damage does he have? As you go to swing the shillelagh, he ducks under the rock that you're in front of, and it bounces off the rock.
Yeah, she's just not at her current state of mind, she's just not able to let this go. And let's see, I have second level spells left. Okay. So I use the bonus action to do Shillelagh. And question. Earlier we ruled that when casting Shillelagh, I can make the attack. If I cast Shillelagh as the bonus action and make the attack, would I be able to do it again for the action to just normally swing my quarterstaff with Shillelagh cast on it? Or because I already did it once, I'll have to do something else?
I would say you have to do something else.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. And in this case, she is going to use, through her Fey-touched feet, Dissonant Whispers. It is a wisdom saving throw of 15.
That's a 16 on the die.
All right. It will still do half damage of 3d6 psychic, so it's 11 halved to 5. So Luan takes 5 psychic damage, and the whispers that he hears are just echoes of what Estelle already said. I trust you. We're family. Why are you doing this?
As these whispers hit him, there's a moment of which he pauses and then shakes it off, blood still running down his nose, but there's still a fiery look in his eye. That's your turn?
That'll be her turn.
Okay. Luan, absolutely not wanting to deal with any of this shit anymore, is going to draw this sigil in the air, and then it seems to come up in the center, and then it points at you. And you hear crackling for just a moment, and then as he casts Burning Hands, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Alright. Dex save. 6, that's a fail.
Okie dokie. So that is... that is 3d6. You take 11 points of fire damage as Leanna, from outside the forest, you just see it light up with fire, and the trees start burning and smoke starts forming in the air. And Luan, which I need to select, there we go. Luan will use his, hold on, I need to check something. So many things. Because I don't know if this works with spells. No, it doesn't. So, Luan is going to duck into the brush again. Would you like to take an opportunity attack?
Yes, I would. I didn't know if he had disengaged or not. Oh, actually, no, he used his action to cast, so he wouldn't be able to disengage. And Shillelagh is still up, so I'm going to use that as my attack because it's using the quarterstaff.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
a
that
25
hits.
to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
For max
Oh.
damage.
Holy shit.
That's max damage.
As he runs by, you swing at him, the fire still catching on you. But as you swing at him, you hit him hard. He stumbles a bit, but is able to keep going. And he will hide. I just need to roll. Okay. So he is now hidden.
And as he does, Estelle's just going to call out. No matter how much you run, how much you hide, I will find you. Just like with you kids. And I will bring you back.
He is staying silent as a church mouse. Leanna, it is your turn, and this area right here is on fire.
Yeah, she's not cool with that. Leaving Soleil, Leanna's going to bonus action dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then regular movement 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Look for Luan.
Okay, roll perception.
$14.
With the fire right next to you and the smoke starting to billow in your eyes, it's hard to make out anything in there.
Yeah, figured as much. She's going to start swearing. And, she doesn't really have anything against the fire. Estelle, get out of there! We can, as I said, we can take her to Moss, get this figured out, get him later. And, unless I'm allowed to use my action to look again, that'll be my turn.
Yeah, I think we'll keep it to one perception check per turn.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would be Soleil normally, but she is down. So Estelle, it is your turn, and you will take, since you are in fire right now, you'll take 2 points of fire damage.
Okay. In response to Leanna, she will say, "And when will that be? When will we find him again? Who else is going to get hurt? Will
I
they
don't
try to
know.
hurt Laurel again? Someone else?"
I can't answer that.
Exactly. And that's why I have to find them now. And she's going to again look for Lorm.
Okay, roll a perception check.
Perception. There you are. 14, which was the exact same.
He's a sneaky bugger. You're also trying to stare through fire right now, so.
Yeah. Probably would have been better to move first. She hates it, but she's going to leave, and she's going to call out to Luong one last time. I am going to leave, but just know this. Even with everything you've done, even while you still try to kill Laurel, you are still my friend. I still love you. You are still family. So, whenever we next meet, just know that I will not hold back. I will do everything in my power to make sure that whatever is happening ends. That we will go back to how we were. And she's just still with still the green and blue stardust rising from her eyes. She's going to fly 30 feet out and use her action to dash and go over to more or less where she last was when she was reading the book and saw the vision, and pick up the book and put it away.
Can you do anything about the fire?
Actually, I think. No, I can't. Not right now. I used too much.
All right.
But we'll find someone who can. I'm going to get Soleil, and
Leanna, does a 14 hit you?
No.
As you're shouting out to Estelle, you feel like a tingle on the back of your neck. And once more, this time you spot it, a dagger comes flying at you. But attacking from hidden is advantage, isn't it?
Yes.
yes.
So hold on. That's a 19.
That will hit.
I don't know why I just didn't roll on Roll20 before. So let's see. That's a do. Nope. Sorry. Ignore that.
Okay.
So that's... I don't know why I'm rolling all 4s on the d4s for the fucking dagger. And there's a phone call again. Cool. And then a d6. It's 8. I keep rolling the same combination.
Back down to 6 HP. But does he give away his position when he does that?
As an action, he would give away his position. And as he does so, he notices that you see him and you didn't go down, so he is going to book it and hide once more.
Coward!
Okay.
Come on, just please stop!
Okay, that is his turn.
Wait, actually, how far away was he when he was throwing?
He would have been 5, 10, 15, about 20 feet.
Okay, because 20 is the min range and then 60 is the max range. So outside of 20, he would have had disadvantage.
Thank you for noting that.
That's why I always make it a point for Leanna to get within 20 feet before I throw.
Good point.
He was 20 away, that's exactly enough to be in the normal range.
Yeah.
Whew. I didn't fuck that up. Okay. Leanna, it is your turn.
She's going to action, or regular movement, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Bonus action, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And start attempting, at least since she's not the strongest, to pick up Soleil.
Okay. Since she is a limp body, roll a strength check.
Three.
She's not a big girl at all, but there's the dagger, and she's heavy.
Yeah.
For someone that's limp, it's heavy.
Yeah. And as someone who's used to doing flips and shit, I'm not someone who picks people up.
Very true. So yeah, you're kind of struggling to get her up. Is that your turn?
Yes, that would be my turn.
Okay, Estelle.
Right. I can't remember. Did I mention going to where the book was and putting that away?
Yes, you did.
Okay. So, let me count. Okay. The exact one. Just for the sake of it, she's still gonna look for Luan, because if he's still pestering, he's not gonna stop anytime soon as we're trying to go away.
Okay. See, the problem is that, okay, where are you moving when you are going to look for Luan?
Oh, when I was counting the movement earlier, it was if moving, back to see if helping, Leanna carry Soleil would, be within 30 feet or not. But, would I need to move closer to look for her?
That's up to you. Where are you attempting to look for him at?
uh, when he Leanna is not Leanna. Estelle is looking for Luan. So many names. Apologies. So many names. Luan kept moving down, so Estelle's going to be looking in the general area of around here. This kind of
I mean,
place.
so you're gonna walk up and go to the edge of the forest and look there?
Oh,
Because you are
okay.
trying to look deep into a forest that you are currently
Yeah.
a ways away from.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, against better judgment and against what everything else is telling her to do, she can't let him go. She cannot. This is literally personal. In the most personal way, this is personal. So she's gonna move up to where she's now right up against the tree line and just keep looking. She can't let him go.
Okay. Roll for me a perception check with disadvantage.
All right. Not one total of that.
You're looking for him and there's no sign.
Please stop. Just please stop fighting. Just give up. She's just gonna use her. How will she use her action? Yeah, she's going to dash, use a dash action to move 30 feet right back to where she was a moment ago, and at this point, she just has to know when to stop. She's gonna go help Leanna with Soleil on her next turn.
Okay. As you are heading back to help Leanna, you both hear a call and a cry from the woods. As you hear Luan shout out, "I know where Layla is. Leave Soleil, and I'll tell you."
Leanna looks to Estelle, looking completely torn.
"You take her, you'll never find your sister."
Her fist is clenched. She is looking completely stricken and upset. He's not lying. She's going to insight him.
Yeah, may I do that as well?
Go right ahead.
Nat fucking one.
A 16.
So the sound of the crackling fire, Leanna, is kind of, you can make out what he is saying, but the tone in which he is carrying those words is lost within the fire. But For you, Estelle, you hear the desperation in his voice. And while it's desperate in terms of, like, things are dire, this is more like I am pulling out my trump card. This is the one thing I have left. You do not sense any dishonesty from these words.
Okay.
Leanna's looking at Estelle again, just unsure of what to do.
You will she will mentally give you the impression that he's telling the truth, and that presenting the idea that why not both, essentially? We take both of them, we find out where she is.
How? You're tapped. I'm hurt. We can't continue this. He has the advantage. How?
No.
We get the information. We go to Moss. We go to someone. We tell them what happened. We point them here as quickly as we can. He can't get very far. I'm not carrying her.
Estelle just nods and she will finally touch down on the ground. She will let the radiant soul within her, as well as her starry form, fade, and she slowly starts to walk away.
Are you
Leave. Just tell me where her alley is.
You get the sense that the eyes are still watching you and waiting for you to get closer to the exit.
She has stopped attempting to lift Soleil, and she's going to walk slowly towards the exit.
Okay.
Not slowly like she's stalling, slowly like everything that has just happened has caught up with her.
Okay. As you guys are walking there, You continue walking until you get to that lip of the tunnel that you came in here from.
So about here.
Yeah, so much further south. And you see popping up here, Luan. And he keeps an eye on you as he keeps a distance and watches until he can get to about here.
It's, sorry to interrupt, but Estelle is going to think I can hit him from here.
And I can rush over and hit him too.
Do it.
Do it.
Estelle's going to cast at second level Guiding Bolt.
And his held action goes off as he takes off a scroll and he reads it really quickly, waiting for one of you to attack him. And the words dum sin da di da, and the two are gone.
It's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. We'll find Allie no matter what he fucking said.
Luan was always the cautious one and always had backup plans.
Sense. Estelle's just going to just fall to her knees and in line with the D4 psychic damage earlier. Is it alright if I do 2d4?
Yep.
Just want to ask before doing anything.
Definitely.
Alright. That's another 2. And as she just lets out this deep pain scream and cry, and she just was scared that Soleil was captured by the Mad Maestro, and now she is realizing that it is so much worse than what she had feared, and it is hitting her hard.
Could I get a perception check from Leanna?
Sure. 17.
As you're kind of letting this moment sink in, you notice something weird, something odd, as where Luan left, it looks like there's a sheet of paper left behind.
She's going to run over to it.
Okay. You head over and you look down at this paper, and you immediately notice how it's written is like a nursery rhyme. And then you actually read the words on the paper. And to see it written, you can see the session chat, but I will also read it. The Mad Maestro of Calistro. Bring truth fro into, twixt the eyes of the crowd, symphony of sound delightfully loud, blasting, turning, fascinating, lovely, timely, sublimely, just in time, my heart, dirges of shadow from us apart. Lend me to the ballet of your mind, so to you your tethers I unbind. Change, necessary for all things. I didn't write that correctly. But for you, my dear, fall to a song all your own. And with that, we will call an end to the session.
Oh boy. It's likely either a taunting message or a hint as to where to find Alayla.
Or perhaps it could be an answer to the third question Estelle had while doing her research.
And what was that question again? I cannot remember.
Any folklore about the Mad Maestro.
That too.
Yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you to my players this week. I appreciate you guys so very much.
Thank you. And can I sue you for emotional damage?
Emotional damage.
Well, again, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
See y'all next week, everybody.
See you next week.